Okay, computer bugs are the next thing we're going to be talking about. So basically this is when there's a bug or something that causes our program to behave unexpectedly. So the first bug that was recorded as work with a computer was actually found by Grace Hopper, which was actually a moth. So we can see in this picture here, they actually found a moth in the hardware. But these days, the hardware is so reliable and so efficient, it's actually going to be something wrong with our coding or programming logic that we need to investigate when it comes to a computer bug. So let's work through this together and see how this works. So debugging is how we go through and find an error in our code and then take the steps to be able to fix the program. So if we look at the code next to it here, there's going to be a problem with this. So if we go through and work through this together, we're going to do this on the worksheet. So let's go over into our OneNote onto the lesson 5 activity, and we'll be able to go through and have a go with that together. So we're back over into our OneNote and we're going to start going through having a look at how this works. So going in, past the 10 green bottles, we've finished that. Now we're having a look at debugging. So there's a nice easy process. We have a program that we're going to open up to be able to utilize and have a play with that as well as we go. So let's have a look at running the program and then be able to answer this first question. So I have that open and I'm going to go remix. So I get my copy to have a play with. So now that's ready to go. So is go through and run the program and see what happens. So let's have a go at that. Asks for that. I'm going to say let's try the 5 times table. Hit enter. It says 5. Okay, so there's our problem. It is not going through. So we notice our response is going to be number 5 just shows there if that's the number. It doesn't actually multiply by. So we can add lines of code to show the variables that may play part in the code. So we can actually help show what's going on. So if we add in the number and the multiplier to see what's actually said, we can check it. So if we have a look at what would happen there, we can have a go at doing that now as well. So we're going to put in say in our looks. So we're going to grab that one, and then we're going to grab that one. We need our number, and we need our multiply. So now let's have a go. So we're going to put in 5. And what we should see is each time it'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, and we'll see the number go up, and we'll see the multiply by, or sorry, the numbers stay the same and multiply go up is what we should see for a times table. So if we have a look at that now, I'm going to go 5 times tables again. 5, 1, 5. Okay, so we can see we've got a problem with our logic around the multiply. So let's see what we need to do next. Okay, so we're going to have a go at putting this in. So if we have a look, we're assuming that we did the times table of 2. So the number is going to be 2 all the way through this column. The multiply should be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the output then should be each of those times. So we go 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So what we're going to try and do is have a go at putting that together. So let's see if we can make that work. So we can see our multiply is the problem. So if we start, we're going to go into our variables. So what we want to be able to do here is we want to change our multiply by 1 at the end of that repeat. So now we say the number, we multiply by that, number times the multiply shows that, and then we're going to change multiply and then do that all over again. So let's see how that goes this time. So we're going to do our 2 times table like we did in our example. We see 2 times 1 is 2. We have 2 times 2 is 4. Then 2 times 3 is 6. And it's going to keep going through nicely for us. So we've been able to get that logic fixed up so we can get our program working. So if we look at the 2 questions we need to respond to is, what did we discover the bug was? We weren't increasing that multiply by each time to times it. And then you saw what we did to be able to solve it is we included an add to 1 or change the multiply by 1 at the end of the loop. So after we multiplies it, we increase it by 1 and we can keep going through the whole repeat 10 times to be able to get the multiply up to 10 by the end. So now we're going to tidy up the code. So moving those check lines that we put in to see what the logic was happening, and then we'll make it working code. So over here, we're going to remove those check ones here, and now we should have a fully working piece of code. So let's check that now. So I'm going to go back to my 5 times table, and we should see it jumping up each time as it should. And then once we get to 50, it finishes. So that is all working how it needs to be. Now, if you get time, I'd like you to have a go at escape the maze. So having a look at the maze that we've got here, look at the left and right turns as it goes through, and we can see that we've got some instructions that we're able to go with down here. If you go through further, we can see we've got some subroutines through here. What you need to be able to work out by the instructions and going through the step-by-steps and seeing if it works, whether they escaped or not. And then consider which ones work and why that would be a better way, which one was a better way to do it. Good luck.